We're looking at page 20. Yeah. We must produce 150 units of lumber, 225 units of plywood. The profit for each is $30 and the profit for each plywood is $45. How many units of each should the mill make to maximize profit? Remember how yesterday we were talking like a company's going to want to maximize profit, minimize expenses? Yeah. So we got to kind of build some equations that talk about this information. Then we're going to graph them and then we're going to see where their vertices are. So let's talk, what are our two little units what are the different things that we're dealing with? What are the things that we're making at this lumber mill? Yeah, exactly. So it's talking lumber and plywood, right, you guys? I'm going to go with lumber units and then plywood units. I'm going to go with X and Y specifically since we are graphing them. It helps me with like Y equals MX plus B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. You guys, what are some things that we know about lumber?
600 equals X plus Y.
Ooh, what do we think about that? Do you agree that we need to get 600 units of both total? Yep. Okay, so he's saying X plus Y is going to be something to 600. It says the lumber mill can turn out 600. Do I need to necessarily produce 600?
No.
If I can turn it out, which inequality should I use there? Greater than or equal to or less than or equal to? If I can turn out 600. 600 is my max. So I'm going to say less than or equal to on that. Very good. Very good. You guys, what about the mill must produce 150 units of lumber? How would I say that? Lumber is my X. He's saying X is going to be greater than or equal to 150. Agreed. Coop, what about my plywood?
Y is greater than or equal to 255.
225.
Oops.
Ha, muy bien, muchacho. Now, you guys, the profit is going to deal with that profit equation once we plug in the vertices. So let's not worry about that yet. Let's just go graph what we've got. I would use a ruler on this, you guys. They're right next to my girl, Kate. Let's go graph X is greater than or equal to 150. That's a vertical line. Vertical line. 225 is a little awkward, but we can do it. I'm going to go between 200 and 250, and I'm going to try to be as good as I can. And my Y is greater than that. Okay, Coop wants some chocolate. Cooper, get me my Y equals MX plus B right here.
That would be Y equals 600 minus X.
Can I put that?
Or negative X plus 600.
Agreed. And just be careful. It's going to be less than or equal to that, right?
Yep.
You guys, we got to go graph this guy. Where are we starting my black line?
Plus 600.
Up 600. Wow, I gave you a perfect graph for that. You guys, what's my slope? Negative 1. So could I just go down 1 and over 1? Is that going to be the same thing? What am I actually going down if I go here? Isn't that actually 50? What about over? 50. So is down 50 over 50 the same as negative 1 over 1? Yes. So on this, because my X and my Y scales are the same, that's the only reason you get to apply a typical slope, because my X and my Y scales are the same. I need to go with a straight line. Okay. Okay. You guys, we've got to be less than that. Should I go shade in region 1 or region 2? 1 is going to be less than it. So I'm going to shade this way. What's my final, shape? It's that triangle, right? You guys, we're going boom, cha-boom, cha-boom, cha-boom. La-di-di. You guys, we got to go build a profit equation now. You guys, my profit equation, how we're going to say this, we're going to say, all right, P of X, Y. That's just saying my profit. What are we getting for each piece of lumber? How much are they paying us for each piece of lumber? 30X. How about for each piece of plywood? 45Y. Guys, that's our equation, meaning $30 for every piece of lumber and $45 for every piece of plywood. And we're going to go plug in our vertices to that to see which one of those combinations gets us the most amount of money. Oh, I hate that this is not all combined. Let's try. Oh, no. Okay, peeps, what are my vertices? What are my vertices? And I know you're probably going to struggle on one of them. That's okay. Let's get this one. What's this one going to be?
0, 0.
Well, 0, 0's down here.
Never mind.
I appreciate the effort, though. How far right do we go? 150. How far up do we go? You got it. So I'm going to just save ourselves a little time. We're going to write P 150, 225. Let's not solve it yet. Let's just go get those different points before we plug them in. How about this one up here? 150, 450? Is that looking like 150, 450? Mateo? That is 0 helpful. What's this vertex? You guys think about it.
375, 225.
Yes, very good. 375. We're just cutting it in half. 375, 225. Very good. 375, 225. I hear calculators out. Absolutely. Go use a calculator. We're plugging in our X and our Y right here. Boop, boop. Let's go see how much money it's making us. I do want you to know you're not always going to get a solution with things like this. Okay, so you guys, just so you know, these systems aren't always going to give us a nice solution. When you're dealing with me, we're going to be good. But this kind of goes to what with something yesterday. How many vertices does this one have? It really only has one, right? So because this keeps going on forever and ever. So this is a lot of words. I apologize. I don't really care about it. Other than you might not have something bounded. With the stuff that I give you, you will though. Okay? All right, last thing. Let's just try one more of these. Whoo, you guys, we are making some bookcases and some cabinets. Whew. A bookcase. Ooh, there's a lot of information here. A bookcase requires 15 hours of woodworking and 9 hours of finishing. The cabinet requires 10 hours of woodworking and 4.5 hours of finishing. And then we got some profit info. Oh my gosh, we got even some more info. There are 70 hours available for woodworking, which that means I'm going to go back in purple. 70 hours available for woodworking, and then 36 hours available for finishing. Oh my gosh, there's so much information. Blah. First of all, what are our two things that we're dealing with? Let's start with bookcases and cabinets. Does that sound good? So we got X is my number of bookcases. And then Y is going to be my number of cabinets. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys, let's talk about the woodworking hours that are available. The bookcase requires 15 hours of woodworking, and the cabinet requires 10 hours of woodworking. And look at how many hours are available for woodworking, 70. Anyone have any idea how I can put all my woodworking stuff into one equation? $15 X and 10Y. Well done. Way to redeem yourself, sir. You guys agree. This is all about woodworking. He said bookcases 15. So bookcases was X. 15 hours of woodworking for my bookcases. 10 hours for my cabinets. And there's 70 hours available. I might not use 70, but I have up to 70 available. We okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about the finishing? Can we write a green equation? Coop, you think you can write a green one?
Yeah.
All right.
Easy.
Easy. What do you got, buddy?
36 is greater than 9x plus 4.5y.
9x plus 4.5y, I'm going to say is less than or equal to 36, which is exactly what you said of starting with the 36. That's good. That's well done, sir. Are we ready to go graph these? Let's go get my y by itself. We can do this. We got a 10y. It's less than or equal to negative 15x plus 70. It's going to be my slope then.
3 halves.
Yeah, negative 1.5 or 3 halves. Oh, I like that. Negative, don't forget, right? down 3 over 2 or down 1.5 over 1. I like that. What's my y-intercept? 7. Very good. Let's go do the same over here. My 4.5y is less than or equal to negative 9x plus 36. What's my slope going to be on my green equation? Negative 2x plus, how many times does 9 go into 36? 4. 4.5 goes into 9 twice. So it's going to be 8. Very good. Okay. Whew. Let's go graph this guy. Negative 3/2 x plus 7. Let's go up 7. Do we have enough room for that?
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can I just go down 3 over 2? I have no scale. We're using up 1 and over 1, right? Like, I'm down with that. This is scurry. Because this green one, my y-intercept is just up 1 more. Then I got to go down 1 over 1. But Beck, look, I actually like where they intersect. They share that exact point. But then they're, oh yeah, he says, I just don't like how close they are. That's fair, dude. I'm going to go attach that guy there, but they do intersect at a perfect point. Now, before we shade, let's talk about our shading. What were both of these inequalities?
Less than.
They're both less than. So would I shade for both of them in region 1 or in region 2 for less?
Region 1.
They're both going to be region 1, correct? I need to shade in region 1 for both of them. So would I need to shade, let me zoom in for you, up here?
No.
I'm not going to because I got to be less than the green and I got to be less than the black. So you agree, I'm going to shade from starting with the black all the way to that point that they intersect. Then which color am I going to follow? The green one, right? Why did I do this? Should I have done that?
No.
Shouldn't I? No, don't erase. Shouldn't I technically have done this though? Technically. Okay, but why am I not telling you to do that? Okay, let's talk about what are variables. Yeah, you got, can I have negative bookcases? I can't have negative bookcases. Can I have negative cabinets? So,
negative things you have somehow destroyed.
what do I need to say about my bookcases? Am I going to be greater than or equal to 0 bookcases?
Yes.
Yeah, you might have 0 bookcases or you might have more. What about my cabinets? It's going to be greater than or equal to 0. I'm not going to have negative cabinets either. So I should have put in my bounds. Thanks for that, Ritzy. So that is bounding me here now. There we go. Talk about that profit equation now. Whew, that profit equation. My P of XY. What are we getting for each of these? 60 for every bookcase. Love it. And 40 for every cabinet. Man, that's a steal. That's like IKEA pricing.
Yeah.
Okay. What are my vertices? Sorry, Porter. Give me a vertice, buddy. 2, 4 is this guy right there. I like that. That's 2, 4. What else, Porter?
1, 3. Oh, you're on the outside. 0. That's 7.
Yep. 0, 7. Agreed. What do you think last one is, Porter?
4, 0.
Yep. Very good. Come get your chocolate. Okay, you guys. I think you could do this without a calculator. What's 7 times 4? 28. Throw a 0 on it. 280. Very good. Wait. Do we have one more that I left off?
0, 0.
Oh, 0, 0. Thanks, guys. Kate, get up here and get your chocolate. What about 4, 0? Yeah, 6 times 4 is 24. How much am I going to get if I make no bookcases and no cabinets?
None.
No dollars. Sean, what was your question, buddy?
So you wrote down right down.
And then I got distracted or something. Oh, look, it's over there somewhere.
And then get there.
2, 4 is going to get me 120 plus 160 is 280.
Yep.
Is that
I
right?
believe so.
Okay. So Guys, what do we max? What's our max?
280.
Do you think this is a pretty good business model that I could make 0 bookcases and 7 cabinets to maximize, or I could make 2 bookcases and 4 cabinets to maximize my profit? Do we think that is good that your company has some options that
Yes.
maximize? You know what I'm saying? So I'd say these are both our max, and that's fine.
For example, if one price decreases, you can switch to a different.
I hear you. If I am having a business, I agree. Me picking the one that takes less time would save me time and money probably, right? But is that maybe? But what if I have some people that want some bookcases? Because it's like a hard balance, right? I want to satisfy my customers, have some bookcases available if maybe they want one. But I'm with you, that's costing me a little bit more time. Blake, good question. Guys, we know we're making minimum money if I'm not cranking out any things. Okay.